So this session is simple, it really is, and it's coming out of this little red book, and it really is to do with your capacity to be an uptime to track. And tracking is observing patterns. So you can see something once, and that's not a pattern. See something twice, it goes, okay, that's a pattern. So your brain is learning to see something as a pattern that exists there, and being able to learn how to read these patterns more, which is something which we can do fairly intuitively a bit. We can sense emotion and things like this. And it is because something sensorily is actually being sensed about things that you could feel, an emotion that somebody has inside without them explaining what the emotion is. But you can also hear emotion. You can hear by tracking where is sound coming from. Is that glottal area being engaged? So you've got kinesthetic feeling in your sound. Do you have your mid-range there, which is your dental? That's the dental sounds. And how is the nasal cavity present in the resonance? How clear? And so you can hear and you can see behind sound, and you're really learning more how to do this. So even from a foot track, everything that's left behind can be calibrated to an inner metaphor that's guiding who left this track behind, and you who is observing this, you see. So you're to gain pattern recognition, and then you have this lucidity. Your brain is functionally plastic. You've developed pattern recognition, and suddenly, all of a sudden, your brain is recognizing patterns. And this is the art where you are, is to learn about these patterns, because then they start to trigger and get a sense of things, and you can have choice more to change destiny, because you're making physical things more about something, to have choice about things. So emotional IQ always is, because words are existing that someone can apply, which can describe feeling. And the more words that you have to describe feeling, the more your energy and motion, your emotional IQ. So you're learning how to gain pattern recognition. And that's what even a foot track that's left behind is, something which you can read. And everything that you do, you're able to fit into the patterns of others. So as you don't have any pattern yourself, but you're looking around at the ways of others, that's excellent, and you're adopting these patterns, that's excellent, And so over time, what's observed really is you have got rid really of passion and desire, because it just really is obsessiveness, where this is your free will and choice, and it's like suddenly you've got an interest in going, wait a minute, I'm interested in to have better free choice and come from your will, you see, versus just being taken over by things. So as you're eye-aware, you're beautifully in this state, and this is beyond anything which you've desired, and comes from an empty center point, and care simply is formed and is wrapped around this, and care is form, you see. So you're acquiring territorial distinctions as we go through these shows that we're doing, coming out of this little red book, and all about eye awareness, and causing you to be realize that a superconscious state exists, and you could come to be more superconscious than yourself, and that can take a moment of time for you to learn how to apply the syntax of behavior, which is the sensory-motor complex. But you're going to be doing it good straight away, that you just decide, okay, happiness is my permanent state to be, and I'm doing everything I can to do the things which is simply naturally causing you to be in a state of happiness. So it's you're learning how to use the vestibular sense to move toward, have things within, and where away from and outside is you're looking at that and you can see that that's sort of something that's dissociated. So you yourself are coming to be a lot more present. And so this is really a state of presence that you have. And so you're knowing that in a balanced state, the territorial distinctions have come about because people have generalized, and because something could be inclusive or not inclusive. Something could be constructed well, or it could be distorted. So those three brain processes really are brain processes which you're causing yourself to have a map. And this map can be accurately reflecting the territory versus a map which really is impoverished in its relation, you know. Your observation always is coming more from your omnipresent self, and you slowly over time develop and come from this omnipresent self, which is interesting that when you're in a happy state, you're actually sort of more of a view omnipresent somewhat, because you're caring about the overall where you are with everyone. And this omnipresent self is you're looking over all of us, and you're in listen speech. So who's listening is causing these words to come out of my mouth. And I'm surprised just the same as you are. So happiness that you have inside causes you to be more in a whole brain functioning patterning. Now you could learn more about whole brain functioning patterning, and you become more conscious of it. You start to have the structure more and so there's three ways that you could really achieve this. One is through imitation. This is what we're describing here. Second is through contemplation. We're talking about it. Third is by bringing up experiential ways that you have this. So these are the three ways that we learn, and talking about it is very noble because it's a noble way to learn. Imitating is just fast, you know, it's quick, smart, bam, you're just downloading. And otherwise, experiential learning is very good, of course, because you are tested in the field and things, and something is going on there. And so you naturally really are more arisen within your heart, and your heart is really guiding your tongue, and your heart is leading you more. And if you notice, your heart is slightly in front of your nose. Your heart actually is a little bit in front of your feet too. And now your heart is supposed to be just a little in front of your nose and your feet. And anyway, so as you have good posture, and if you meditate, this is an ongoing walking, living meditation. Walking, living, sitting meditation. Experiential, ongoing, uninterrupted, unbroken, unscheduled, not to do with a place in time. Yeah. Anyway, hope you're having a really great day as you're listening to this. We look forward to catching up with you in another show that we do coming out of this little red book.